Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mortuary. I am the Mortician. And today, I wanted to do a bit of a post-mortem on a couple of movies that I just got finished watching. That is Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal. The reason I wanted to do this is because, I've had a lot of thoughts between these two movies, and typically, I don't do movie stuff, but I thought that these are worth discussing. I have to say, to start this off, I fucking love both of these movies. I think these are both really good movies. The reason I say this is because I'm going to have some opinions that maybe people might not like, especially about Hannibal. But yeah, so let's start with Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs, when I first watched it a couple days ago, I fell in love with it. Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, that's his role. I feel like if someone were to redo it, like reboot it or whatever, no one else would be able to fill that role. That's an Anthony Hopkins exclusive role. He plays such a gentleman-like, such a smart serial killer. And that's what Hannibal is. These movies, when you're talking about horror, this isn't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of horror. This isn't like Friday the 13th kind of horror. This is like The Shining almost. The Shining was not horror like outright. It was more like a psychological kind of horror. Like, oh shit, did I see that? Or did that person really say that? Or something along those lines. And that's how Silence of the Lambs can be summed up. It's more of a psychological horror than anything else. I mean, sure, there are horror elements of just like regular horror, but that's more toward the end. More toward the payoff at the end. But I would say that this is really well done. The moth, as you see on the cover, well, as I'm trying to get on the cover, is actually a very interesting symbol. And I think that's one of the main differences between these two movies that I found. Silence of the Lambs, I mean, I'm not going to say it's all symbolism, but I would say within this movie, the moths are kind of symbolic toward the killer. They have something to do with him. The chrysalis is an important thing. It's for going from one thing and then bursting out the other. And I'm trying not to spoil it because this is one thing. Like, I know I did some spoiling in Fatal Frame, I believe, but this is just something. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it yourself. I would be doing you a great injustice. So I'm trying to keep it vague, but the moths are kind of important. The reason the killer chooses the moth is kind of important. Now, it could be me overanalyzing the movie. I don't think so, but I think it plays an important role. And Jodie Foster playing Clarice. This is another difference between these two movies. You have Jodie Foster in this one, and you have Julianne Moore in this one. And I think that's... I mean, not that Julianne Moore was a bad Clarice, but I just don't. It didn't jive with me the right way. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but she just can't deliver the way that I think Jodie Foster can, or delivered in the first one. Once again, that might be me overanalyzing it, because when it's like the night before, I was talking to one of my friends about this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this fucking movie." And I was just, after finishing it, I was just like, it's not as good as the first. And I know, kind of expecting it to be as good as the first, anything, if there's a really good, starter thing, and you expect the subsequent sequels to be better, you're going to be let down. This was the case. And it's not even that Hannibal's a bad movie. Once again, it's smart, but it's not as smart as the first one, I find. Like, Hannibal is more of a killer than he is an intellectual. Because, like, Hannibal in Silence of the Lambs is very much an intellectual kind of thing. Like, he's fucking with Clarice the entire movie. And it's just, I didn't get any of that in this one, in Hannibal. But the Silence of the Lambs is amazing. In Hannibal, like I said, this movie kind of falls flat. They have this beautiful little place, Florence, Italy. And while I was watching it, they didn't seem to do much with it. As far as I was watching, It felt like they should have used it more, because both of these movies are over 2 hours long. Actually, this one's just about 2 hours long, Silence of the Lambs. This one's at 2 hours and 11 minutes. And, the first one had its moments where it kind of dragged a little bit, but I was never like, oh, dude, when is it over? It was just like, because they would reinvigorate it with something. It would it's like wine, if you have like a red wine, it like dries out your mouth. Maybe you have like cheese or whatever, and it makes it makes your mouth feel better or whatever. It's kind of like that. That's what Silence of the Lambs is. It's like a fine wine. You gotta take your time. You gotta enjoy it. But like Hannibal, it's hard to do that because in a sense, there's no cheese. Like there's nothing that really made me hang on the way I feel like I should have. Even like if we're gonna talk about the gore in this, the gore is very much few and far between in Silence of the Lambs, but that's perfectly acceptable because when there is some, it's nice. It's actually a pretty good thing, like I said, the cheese. But like this, it just like, for example, there's this guy who has this fucked up face, and they show how his face got fucked up. But the problem with that is it was like the camera was fucking shaky. Like they did this on purpose. I guess they were trying to, oh, this is chaotic and whatnot. So they were like, and it does not lend to the movie at all. This scene is it's a fucking cop out. I didn't like it at all. I felt like, you should have went full gore. Personally, because like I said, 2 hours and 11 minutes, that's a long movie. And, when I get pieces of gore, I don't want it to be obscured in any way. I want it to be right in my face. I don't know, maybe they were trying to be more artsy. Because even the start of the movie, the fish market scene, that was fucking cool. But then we come to another problem. I don't like any of the FBI guys. It's not like, I know you're not supposed to, but I felt like it was like unwarranted how fucking dickish they were. And it just, to me, I just couldn't enjoy it as much. I didn't like any of the parts with the FBI. I felt it just completely fucking dismantled any kind of somewhat likability I had towards this Clarice, because every time she's in a scene with the FBI, she's getting railed for something, and it's not fun to watch. Like if I wanted to watch someone be, what is that word, absconded, I'd go to my fucking family's house. It just felt empty as well, because like, once again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's something that happens in the fish market, and they say it was completely unwarranted, but it clearly was. There was someone taking pictures, so there must have been someone who caught a picture of this scene that got her in trouble. But of course, they just, oh, well, that never happened. We don't have any of that. It's bullshit, unfortunately, and it makes me feel like the movie lasts longer than it should because of these scenes. Like, these scenes, they could have cut a lot of this FBI bullshit out, and it would have been better. And I think, I don't fucking think it held up in that regard because of that. Like, everything else is fine. Like, you have, in Italy, you have that other inspector, what's-his-face, Pazzi, and, his death is pretty fucking awesome. But once again, that's like halfway into the movie, or fucking something like that. It's like halfway into the movie, and before that, you see one, maybe two. It's just, and it's, like I said, it's not even death. There's one of those two scenes, there's a death. And it's infuriating. Like, there is nothing that kept me wondering in this movie, in Hannibal. Like I said, it's not that it's a bad movie. It's still a great movie. I totally recommend it. But when I had people who said that this is fucking great, like absolutely great, I found it fell flat in a couple areas, and that's where I felt it fell flat. Once again, I definitely recommend both these movies, but this is definitely a stronger case of like, do not expect the sequel to be as good as the original. That should go without saying, but I was under the misapprehension that this would be kind of the same stuff, and it really isn't. I mean, it's just like, I can't even pull any like symbolism or anything. Like, there's nothing that makes me go, oh, you know what, this might have some type of importance within the movie, or underlying scenes from beyond the movie. It's just, It's totally not what I wanted. Maybe it's not totally what I wanted, but it fell flat. Honestly, if you just watch Silence of the Lambs. This is a beautiful, gorgeous movie, and if you really like Silence of the Lambs, if you really enjoy Lecter's character, watch this one. But yeah, I just wish they had done more with this. Like, you have this highly sophisticated, really smart serial killer, and you couldn't do much with them, it seemed. Maybe it's because I have the R version. Maybe there's some stuff in the the unrated version that maybe is a little bit better. But I'm not feeling Hannibal the way I felt The Silence of the Lambs. Once again, Hannibal's a good movie. It's just, don't expect it to be a Silence of the Lambs. Do not expect this to hold up to that, because there's no fucking way it could. I just feel like there was a lot, I'm going in circles, but there's a lot they could have fucking cut from Hannibal and, implemented maybe some more scenes there that would have made it feel, better watching it. It wouldn't have felt as, lengthy, because, a lot of the times I was just like, oh man, we're only halfway through the movie, oh man, we're only this much through the movie, it's a drag. It's like Silence of the Lambs, slow burn. The whole thing is a slow burn, but it's so beautiful. It's like if you smoke a cigar or something, it's really, really nice, smooth, really expensive cigar, so it's really smooth. It goes, in your mouth, it feels right. It's got maybe a bit of spice in it, but Hannibal is one of those somewhat cheaper cigars. You can totally tell the difference between these two, and there's not, the spice might not be there, and you might drag it, and it burns in a way you'd rather it didn't. That's the way I could put it. That's the best way I can analyze these two, but totally worth it. I bought Hannibal for $5, so find it for that price. It's an amazing movie. Silence of the Lambs I bought for exactly $5 because I got this up the street. And this, I would have easily paid $15 for. This movie is fucking amazing. This instantly, when I watched it, instantly went to my top 10 favorite movies. It's smart. It's fucking, the gore is nice. Once again, this movie doesn't have a lot of gore, but when it has it, it's fucking gorgeous. The payoff in this is fucking amazing. I just felt like this one, it was Because, there's this... It seems like there's this love thing going on between Hannibal and Clarice, and it didn't jive with me. I wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like it was kind of forced. Maybe that's how it was supposed to feel. I don't know. I just wasn't digging it as much as Silence of the Lambs. Great movie. It did some really good stuff. Great scene. The fish market scene is fucking awesome. I still do like Hannibal here. He does have his moments, but I don't think they're as plentiful as in the first one, personally. Because like I said, in the first one, he was in a lot of the scenes, actually, giving her clues and whatnot. But this, you see him, oh god, he's in a perfume shop, oh shit. Oh, we're following him to a restaurant. It's just fucking... Please, if you're gonna do something like this, you do it a little bit better. I feel like I'm riding this movie hard, but it's not that I'm necessarily riding hard, because I think it's a great movie. I still think this is good, and I keep saying that because I'm all I'm doing is picking it apart. Because like I said, I had really high expectations for it. How could you not after such a great movie that came before it? And it fell flat on those expectations. Maybe a second watch, I'll be able to appreciate it on another level. Maybe I'll be able to go, I actually like this one. I feel like it might be better than I previously thought, because let's face it, there were a lot of expectations I don't think Hannibal could have met. It's the bar was raised here, Silence of the Lambs, and it just, not too much lower, right about here. So, but thank you guys for watching. Thoughts? What'd you guys think of these two movies? I know there's a prequel called, I think it's Red Dragon. I have to check that out. maybe I'll do one of those. Maybe I'll, you know, do a video on that if I find that I love it. Or actually not even love it, even if I hate it. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do like movie reviews more often. But, you know, they're not really my thing because movies, unlike games, I'm bad at analyzing them. I'm bad at analyzing anything and picking it apart, but, like, movies especially, because movies are a completely different kind of an experience. So, alright, I know I keep saying goodbye and then I fucking keep talking, so thank you guys for watching. Mortician, peace out.